Hello everyone, it's me Gavin, and we're back with another episode of the history of Kiola. So, down here, Gojo is going to continue their migration, expanding this way, and moving a bit further away from the lands they once called home. While the Joke Union is going to continue to expand, and Gojo is narrowly avoiding them. But as Paranite Aloka expands, they meet up with Gojo. And they do a lot of expansion. And then Gojo is going to just continue expanding this way. But they're going to run into the Joke Union. And now they're caught between a rock and a hard place. Between an expansionist and a major power. Suryoya and Kiola are going to continue to expand throughout the steppe here, just becoming thick, really, instead of longer, you know. And they have had good relations for really since they met, and being of the same culture and language, they're going to combine. And they're going to do a thing sort of like Czechoslovakia, where they don't speak the exact same language, and they're not the exact same race or whatever, but I'm going to find them a new color and stuff. I don't want to do like a chartreuse. This looks kind of mid. Oh, it's because of their. We'll do like a green, like a lime. I'm actually pretty strong now. I don't like this. This is a bit too bright. This is just a green. This just looks like snot. Let's do like a little teal. That looks better. Do I have a teal already? No. Oh, I thought I would have. And I'll think of a name real quick. Alright, they're now named Suryoya. Pardon me, just checking that. Pause, don't want to make the same mistake. Arai is going to continue to expand down the river until they reach the lake. And they're going to expand further up. And at this point, they're going to accidentally expand too much, and the Quranic colony is going to discover them, and Norris now knows about them. But they don't know their origins, so they're not completely hating them or anything. Jocko is going to expand more now to the east and along the river. Sora is going to also make a large expansion, and they're going to find this other island, and there's a new island up here. And I've also, I believe, made some changes to the list. So now Norris, or Norasia, is the greatest, then Etona is second, then the Three Rivers Empire has the strongest military, Jakla is the fourth strongest military. Coastal Council of Deroy is third economy. Three Rivers Empire is fourth economy, and then Iria is fifth military economy. And with Sora is going to just continue to expand, and they're going to discover this island as well, colonize all of it, and they're going to discover this large island. And at this point, all of these guys know about each other, so Jocko is going to come to Deroy and say, Deroy, we have found a very large island to your east across the sea, and I think it would be beneficial if we set up a joint colony between all three of us there, me, Sora, and you. And you should send some expeditions there. And so they do exactly that. There's a small Jocelyn mount sent here. Deroy sends some here. Finding a nice place to expand without having to just worry about Norris. And they could maybe even retreat to here. And they find this large island. And they have a bit of an alliance and a naval base here. And Jocko starts to bring more troops up here because of the threat of Norris. And this is actually because Etona is going to come to Norris and say, Norris, we are both great empires. I think we should unite, or no, we should form an alliance so that no one will be able to stop us. And Norris agrees to this. And the two greatest powers uniting is not good. And Norris has plans. They're trying to take out Deroy and also take out the Somali nations. whom they no longer have a need for. This is bad. This is bad. Now, back down here, Soroya is going to just expand a little bit, consolidate their newly united wonderful lands. And the continent of Ruor is not going to actually know about this. Over here, Izov, just a lot more of a rapid expansion from these tribes. Really. And we're going to find a couple new tribes here as well. Continuing the trend of these colors. Is this the same? No. Okay. I'm going to have this tribe here. And is this mint? No. Okay. And a little mint tribe here. And one more up here. And we're going to give them names. And now we have Kaizov, Arov, and Drolov. And these are all pretty peaceful with each other. None of them really wanting to conquer each other. Also just an actual border here that I'm going to make. But enough dilly-dallying. We're gonna get to the real stuff. And Norse is going to declare war on the Coastal Council of Duroy. Now, with such a long border here, and Norse's troops combined here, as well as some around Ural to invade Neria, and some just to defend the colony. But not many. Most of their troops are on Duroy. Actually, it's about 50-50 between here and here, because a lot of Atona's troops are here to support them. And with this, Norse is actually going to send Duroy an ultimatum, because they know that they're much more powerful than Duroy. And they would say, Duroy, if you do not peacefully submit to us and become our vassal within a month, we will invade and destroy you. Now, Duroy sends no response, but what they do say is, Jakla, Soria, Norse has just sent me an ultimatum to join them and become their vassal. I need you to mobilize your forces and bring them into my country. I would say, Soria, bring all of your troops to help defend, and then Jakla, split some between the colony and my mainland. We just need to focus on defense here. Then take out the southern front by taking out their colony and bringing them all up here. And so, a month passes, and it is now the year 26. Population is 20,000. And, ultimately, Duroy refuses Norasia's ultimatum, and they begin their invasion. But it is shockingly a bit more difficult than they expected, though they still make a fairly large amount of gains. They realize they see foreign troops, the Jocklins and the Saurians, fighting. And in the south, Jokla begins a swift invasion into the colony, which is ill-defended, and any troops there are quickly wiped out, and it's really just however long it takes for them to push it. Duroy is still slowly losing land. I mean, I wouldn't say this is too slow, but it's not as fast as Suran already besieged with very little defenders. Eventually they're encircled and decide to give up. The Somalian Federation sees this, and they actually take some of this land. And they start to move into the colony. And Arai sees this as well, and they actually also join in on the war. Wait. How am I pressing Control Z, bro? I could. And the Karani colony is eaten up by the three. And the Somalian Federation talks to Neria and says, Neria, the Norasians, we have an opportunity to attack the Norasians, this large country to the east, and the Doroi are at war with them. We can take their colony and maybe bring them down. Neria signs a bit of a begrudging alliance where they both push into Norris's colony. And now there's a lot of troops there who are ready to declare war on Neria. Actually, what happens is that these troops actually started to push in an area, and then with the Somalians joining the war, their troops come in to defend, and with both of the Somalian nations here, Norris is actually finding a bit of a struggle to push them, though they still have greater numbers. Jacqueline now diverts all its troops up here, as Doroi in the south is beginning to lose most of its land, which is the land it cares about the most. And in the north, there's less fighting. But their troops arrive and are able to push back Norris a bit and just keep the capital safe. Don't know where the capital was, but we'll just say it's here. That's about where Doroi started. In the north, Norris is going to continue to make some more progress as there's less resistance there than in the south, where they're actually pushed back in some places, but continue to push forward in others. And actually meet the border here in Norris. And Doroi sends a small force in, but they realize that this is it's not worthwhile to do an invasion. And with more of Itona's troops helping out, this is not looking well. And the Triple River Empire expands, and they are actually going to talk to... Actually, they're just going to declare war on Itona, because Itona has taken over part of their river. They see this as an offense. They don't like this. And Itona's not ready, and they lose a lot of land in the first couple months until they're able to bring some proper troops over and defend, which allows Doroi to push back in some areas as they have less troops because they need no Itonan support. And Norris is able to consolidate over here and make some of its own little pushes, but it's not looking as good for them. They could possibly actually lose this. And they continue pushing here slowly and actually encircle Naria, which may fall. And so the Somalian Federation and Naria come to Jaka and say, Jaka, we are both enemies of the Norasians, and right now they encircle Naria. They besiege Naria. We need your help. If you send your troops, help free Naria and destroy the Norasian colony here, we will send our troops to invade them to help you. And so Jaka sends troops they have occupying here, and Norris makes some pushes, which makes it more likely to keep Naria surrounded as they continue to besiege until the troops arrive. And the Jaqueline troops at this point understand how to fight Norris and are able to make a little breakthrough, but Naria is re-encircled, though some vital supplies were able to make it through. In the east, it is a stalemate with pushes here and there from Norris and pushes here and there from Doroi. But really, there is no clear side that is winning, though Doroi is losing their land. And the Triple River Empire is going to take a bit more until they meet a proper response from Itona, who is going to make some small counterattacks, and they're going to travel along the border and attack here to encircle the Triple Rivers, but they're going to just keep pushing in, and they're going to take this and actually cut off these guys, and they're going to keep pushing. And at this point, Itona is going to talk to Norris to say, Norris, I've been invaded by these other people in the west. They are very powerful, and I'm being pushed back. And Norris says, well, deal with it. I can't do anything. It's a stalemate in the east and in the south. We may take Naria, but those other foreigners, the Jocklins, I've heard, have come in to help out Neria as well. And they almost lose Neria, lose the siege. They still barely manage an encirclement, but it's very close with another offensive down here to hopefully distract them a bit from this, as actually with most of their troops trying to defend Neria, Jocklin and Somali troops actually find an opening to besiege Yorin, and basically the rest of this colony, nothing of worthwhile, and it falls easily. And now they have each other kind of in a reverse thing when somebody is able to do this, and now it's whoever wins the siege first, and Yorin with little defenders actually falls quickly, and Neria is able to break out with a stunning loss now in the south, and now these troops are freed up with not too many losses except for Neria. Jocklin's starting to face some losses though, as Deroy is starting to get pushed back more so now, and the stalemate begins to end, with it seeming like they're finally going to lose, and their casualties are mounting. And so we finally see another turning point of the war, as it seems that these two great powers alliance is going to start winning, as Etona begins to push back the Triple River Empire as well. But we see an uprising of the Aroinans. They do not want to be caught within these empires, and they see that they could possibly lose, and they rise up. And their color is going to be like this nice kind of pink purple, or red purple. I like this dark like burgundy kind of color. And they're going to rise up within Etona, this land that they had. And they're going to rise up within parts of Norris as well. And a bit within Deroy. And Deroy is going to make a deal with them because they cannot afford another. Let's say, Royans, I will give you this land in the north if you join our side to fight exclusively against the Norwegians. I'll give you your independence and build this land in the north that I have if you fight with me. And they accept, which forms a bit of an Aroyan country here. And they push back the Norwegians and form a bit of a front here. And the small other ones are crushed by a couple more Asian forces, but in Etona they're running rampant because Etona's forces are almost completely occupied with the two fronts, the dual front war they're fighting. And they're able to continue to rise up. More rebels rise up everywhere until they just expand, and all these lands rise up to join the Aroyan Kingdom rebellion. And the two make a move to link up with an offensive as well. And now there's a northern front. And this is a huge issue. And with this, Norris has to divert troops, and Deroy is able to push them almost completely out of their lands with the casualties that have been mounting and this new front. Just link that up. Just there. And they push in to free the rest of their Aroyan brothers. And they push in to take along this river. And this is just not looking good. And at this point, Deroy completely pushes out Norris and starts to just recover for now, not on an offensive. The Aroyans do the same while the Triple River Empire begins to push in. And it's looking bad for Etona and Norris. And then the naval invasions begin. Neria and the Somalian Federation begin a naval invasion. Neria goes over here near Krani and Sona. Actually, we'll do it over in the Etonan part of Sona, of Rosie. the Somalian Federation does it near Rasan, as well as southeastern Caria. And with this, the Ionasi Alliance, the former members that feel betrayed by their once ally Norse, now the Norwegian Empire, rise up. We see the return of Rosie, slightly darker color, I feel like, who mainly rise up around Sona with another one here. Canal, I don't remember their color, we're just going to do green. Around Crawny, and a bit further up north. And Caria, who I also don't remember the color, something like this. And with this, Norse is falling apart. The naval invasions consolidate with the rebels, and so basically Rosie reforms, as well as Canal reforms, connecting up with the rebel groups. The Rasan guards push back this invasion and sort of do with the rebels a bit, but they start to move along the coast here, and eventually more and more people rise up, and then it's just not looking good for both of the nations. The Triple River Empire now pushes in and actually besieges Etona's capital. Don't know why I'm doing this, but right here. And the Orionans begin an offensive which links up with the Triple River Empire. The Roy begins their attack, seeing that the war is close to being won. And at this point, Norse and Etona just fall. Crumble. With the loss at the siege of their capital, Etona is now almost basically dead. Then we see the reformation of Canal. Caria. They push in. And eventually, the naval invasions are able to take this land and take Rasan. And the Norwegian Empire and Greater Etona collapse. And now we'll see the borders formed. So, the Triple River Empire is going to just want all of this land to the panhandle down here. The rest of this land is going to return back into Etona. But a new nation with a different ruler, different government form. We're going to see the Kingdom of Etona. Up here we're going to see the Federation of the And so Canal is Etona's going to take back a little bit of their land over here from the Federation that they once had. Rosie is going to take a lot of this land. Canal is going to take a lot of their previous land up to here as well. And then Caria is going to absorb this. We're going to take some of this land and expand out. And then the Roy is going to take some of this land. And then they're going to leave this land of the Federation. And then this land is actually going to be empty because nobody wants it. Between the Federation, the Roy, Caria, and Canal. And so we can finally remove these administrative areas with the fall of the two most powerful nations on Kiola. It was a close war, but in the end, if you conquer too many peoples and you don't rule well, they're going to rebel and you're going to fall. And we see the returned. We have the Kingdom of Caria. We're going to see the rise of monarchy throughout the Aranasi. Kingdom of Canal and the Kingdom of Rosie. There we go. And this island is going to be consolidated a bit, where Roy is going to take a lot of the land, as well as Soria, and Chocola's just going to leave most of this land. They don't want much more. And we're going to actually find 2 tribes on this island. One up here. Put that to me. So we're gonna do like this color. That's good color. And one down here. These guys are a different culture from the Aroinans and everyone else who are isolated on this island. And we have Kaz and ER, and then the final changes of the war down in the south. The Somanians are going to take some of this land. They're going to take some of this land, and the rest of it is going to break off into an independent country, as well as this. And then Arai is going to take a lot of this land that they claimed. And then we're going to see the return of Rachna, who is going to reform a Quranian state with the Quran. Qurano. Key. And this changes the balance of power a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and change this list real quick. So now the strongest nation is going to be the Three Rivers Empire, with an alright economy now at top 3. Then the Great Union of Dracula with the best economy because of all of their trade and their large size, and the second strongest military. Then the Coastal Council of Deroy has the second best economy with the 4th military, which area has a better military. Then we're going to see Canal Kingdom with the 4th economy because they're having a lot of trade as well with their former neighbors and a pretty large size. And then the Federation of Aroina with military and economies at 5th because they are pretty big, have a lot of people, and they're doing some trade now with the Roy and Canal and even the Kingdom of Etona and such. And so now the only real large empires that remain, I guess you could say, is going to be Great Union of Dracula, which isn't going down anytime soon because these 2 sort of cultures within them are now basically united as one. And so instead of being like Norse, where they had Caria, they had Canal, they had Rosie, and they had the Aroinans within them, as well as the colony of the Qurani, these are all one per people who do not want to be different nations. In areas, the Aryan Federation, I didn't realize that I need to change that. The Aryan Federation. But yeah, now we've got a lot more nations, and the world has evolved a lot, and I think this is a good time to end the, I believe this is the 6th episode. Now this is the 5th, isn't it? But to end this episode of the history of Kiola, and if you guys enjoyed, don't forget to like and subscribe. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye!